Hello 5SDM and welcome to the second part of Chapter 8. Just to remind you, Kenzuki has been out on the outrigger with Michael and has been telling the story of the bombing of Nagasaki and how he ended up on the island, and the realization when the Americans arrived on the island not long after, that in all likelihood Nagasaki was destroyed and his family were no longer there. So much was beginning to make sense now. A fish took my line suddenly, almost jerking the rod from my grasp. Kenzuki leaned across to help me. It took many minutes of heaving to bring the fish to the surface, but between us we managed to haul it in. We sat back exhausted as it floundered at the bottom of the boat at our feet. It was massive, bigger even than the biggest fish I'd ever seen, the pike my father had caught in the reservoir back home. Kenzuki dispatched it quickly with a sharp blow to the back of the neck with the handle of his knife. Good fish, very good fish. You very clever fisherman person, Micah. We good together. Maybe we catch more now. But it was many hours before we caught another, though it did not seem like it. Kenzuki told me of his life alone on the island, how he had learned to survive, to live off the land. He learned, he said, mostly by watching what the orangutans ate and what they did not eat. He learned to climb as they did. He learned to understand their language, to heed their warning signals, the darting eyes, the nervous scratching. Slowly, he built a bond of trust and became one of them. By the time we made for home that evening with 3 huge fish in the bottom of the boat, tuna I think they were, his story was almost finished. He talked on as he rowed. After Americans, no more men came to my island. I alone here many years. I not forget Kimi, I not forget Michia, but I live. Then year ago, maybe, they come. Very bad people, killer men. They have guns, they hunt, they shoot. I sing to my orangutans, they come to me when I sing. They are very frightened. They come all in my cave, we hide. Killer men not find us. But in forest they shoot. You told me name gibbon monkeys. They shoot mothers, they take babies. Why must they do this? I very angry. I think all people killer people. I hate all people, I think. I not want to see people again. Then one day I need big fish to smoke. I go fishing in this boat. Wind blow wrong way. I go far out. Sea pull me away very strong. I try to come back, my island. It is no good. I am old, arms are not strong. When night come, I am still far away. I very frightened. I sing. It make me brave. I hear shout. I see light. I think I dream. Then I hear another song in sea, in dark. I come quick as I can. I find you and Stella and Ball. You very nearly dead person, Micah-san. Stella, very nearly dead dog. So it had been Kenzuki who had pulled me from the sea. Kenzuki who had saved me. It simply never occurred to me. In morning, he went on, sea bring us again near my island. I very glad you not dead, but I very angry person too. I want to be alone. I not want to see people. For me, all people killer people. I not want you on my island. I carry you. I leave you on beach. I leave you food. I leave you water so you do not die. But you make fire. I want people stay away. I not want people find me here on my island. Maybe they come. Maybe they shoot orangutan, shoot gibbon monkey. Maybe they find me, take me away too. I very angry person. I put out fire. I not want speak to you. I not want see you. I draw line in sand. Big storm come. Biggest I ever see. After storm, sea full of white jellyfish. I know these jellyfish. Very bad. They touch you. You very dead. I know this. I say do not swim. Very dangerous. Very soon I see you make big fire on top of hill. I think you very wicked person. I very angry now, and you very angry too. You swim in sea. Jellyfish sting. I think you for sure, you dead person. But you very strong. You live. I bring you into cave. I have vinegar. I make you from berries. Vinegar kill poison. You live, Micah. But for long time you very sick boy. You strong again, and we friends now. We very good friends. So that was it, the whole story. He stopped rowing for a while and smiled down at me. You are like sun to me now. We happy people. We paint. We fish. We happy. We stay together. You my family now, Micah-san. Yes? Yes, I said. I meant it, and I felt it too. He let me take the oar and showed me how to row his way, standing up, feet planted well apart. It wasn't as easy as he made it look. Clearly he trusted me to get us back, for he sat back in the bow of the outrigger to rest, and fell asleep almost at once, his mouth open, his face sunken. He always looked even older when he slept. As I watched him, I tried to picture his face as it must have been when he first came to the island all those years ago, over 40 years. I owed him so very much. He had saved my life twice, fed me and befriended me. He was right, we were happy, and I was his family. But I had another family too. I thought of the last time I had been out in a boat, of my mother and my father, and how they must be grieving for me every day, every night. By now they must surely believe I was drowned, that there was no chance I could be alive. But I wasn't drowned. I was alive. Somehow I had to let them know it. As I struggled to bring the outrigger back to the island that afternoon, I was filled with a sudden, powerful longing to see them again, to be with them. I could steal the boat, I thought. I could row away, I could light a fire again. But I knew, even as I thought it, that I could not do it. How could I ever leave Kenzuki now, after all he had done for me? How could I betray his trust? I tried to put the whole idea out of my head, and I really believed I would have too, but the very next morning I found the plastic Coke bottle washed up on the beach, and after that the idea of escape came back and haunted me day and night and would not leave me. For some days I kept the Coke bottle buried under the sand, whilst I wrestled with my conscience, or rather justified what I wanted to do. It wouldn't really be betrayal, not as such, I told myself. Even if the bottle was found, no one would know where to come. They'd just know I was alive. I made up my mind. I would do it, and do it as soon as I could. Kenzuki had gone off octopus fishing. I had stayed behind to finish a shell painting, or so I had told him. I found an old sheet at the bottom of one of the chests and tore away a small corner of it. Then I knelt down at the table, stretched it out, and painted my message on it in octopus ink. To the Peggy Sue, Fareham, England. Dear Mum and Dad, I am alive. I am well. I live on an island. I do not know where. Come and find me. Love, Michael. I waited until it was dry. Then I rolled it up, dug my Coke bottle out of the sand, slipped in my message and screwed the bottle up tight. I made quite sure Kenzuki was still intent on his fishing, and set off. I ran the entire length of the island, keeping always to the forest so that there was no chance Kenzuki could see where I was going or what I was up to. The gibbons howled their accusations at me all the way, the entire forest cackling and screeching its condemnation. I just hoped Stella would not bark back at them, would not betray where I was. Fortunately, she didn't. At last I reached the rocks under Watch Hill. I leapt from rock to rock until I was standing right at the very end of the island, the waves washing over my feet. I looked round me. Stella was the only witness. I hurled the bottle as far out to sea as I possibly could. Then I stood and watched as it bobbed away and out to sea. It was on its way. I didn't touch my fish soup that night. Kenzuki thought I was ill. I could hardly talk to him. I couldn't look him in the eye. I lay all night in deep torment, racked by my guilt, yet at the same time still hoping against hope that my bottle would be picked up. Kenzuki and I were at our painting the next afternoon when Stella came padding into the cave. She had the Coke bottle in her mouth. She dropped it and looked up at me, panting and pleased with herself. Kenzuki laughed and reached down to pick it up. I think he was about to hand it to me when he noticed there was something inside it. By the way he looked at me, I was quite sure he knew at once what it was. And that's the end of Chapter 8, 5 STM, and where we will stop for today. Another instalment tomorrow.